Hi there. I am so happy to be with you today. I am Dani Palacio, and I host a Waking Moment podcast on several different podcast channels. So wherever you're finding me, thank you. And I'm also an energetic healer who works with the soul, the frequency and vibration of life force, and listen to the divine and the spirit team of each individual human. I do ask that if you enjoy this experience with me, that you share it with your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers, that you repost on social media. It deeply supports my mission on this planet, which is to remind you that you are a spark of God and that within you is pure divine light. You were born from love, and that is exactly what you are, whether you believe it or not. I do. And again, I'm so grateful that you're here. So, this is going to be an interesting kind of free flow podcast because it's been a month since I have released an episode, which is the first time in this experience that I've gone this long without coming to share, to inspire, to teach, to activate, and to remind all of those that listen and all of those that even don't listen that frequency and energy are emitted in the unknown realms as well as in the known realms, so seen and unseen. And on that, I would love to share a little bit about what's been going on and what is to come because there is so much the rest of the year. Today, I'm recording on the first day of fall, and so we have officially changed seasons and astrological signs into the sign of Libra, which I am a Libra rising. And so it feels very juicy to me to be in a place where I get to explore what relationship means. Libra is often seen as the sign or the symbol of the scales of justice. And my life path and life understanding have expanded that to mean all relationship, not just relationship with self, which is primary, but also relationship with everything in your life, everyone and everything in every place. So you've got hundreds, maybe even thousands of relationships in your life that may need your attention and may need to be balanced and also may need to shift. Fall is a time of reaping in the harvest of all of the work, the shift, the change, the beauty, the nourishment that you've received in the glorious sun of summer. It's one of my favorite seasons. I used to say I was born in this season, but guess what? This morning when I was making my coffee, I realized that I'm a summer baby. And even though fall and the commercial restaurants, coffee shops, retail stores love to increase their sale opportunity that says fall starts in August, which it doesn't. But we get excited. We get excited at the fall leaves, the beautiful change in color, the upcoming holidays. Very fun, very festive, very expressive. So, on the other side of the world, the other half of the world is experiencing spring. So we've got this duality that keeps showing up in nature, in seasons, in astrological signs, in the placement of where you are in the world. When I lived in Peru, it was the opposite sign of seasons. So same astrological signs, but different seasons. And I've mentioned that before on this podcast. So I want to welcome all those people that listen that are under the equator, that are below the equator, and welcome them to spring. What might pop through the ground? What might be something new? And then I also want to honor exactly where you are because every person is in their own season, exactly in the exact moment they're meant to be. Some of us may be going through a dark night of the soul where it feels deep and dark like winter, like the sun is not warming the earth the way it once did because of the tilt and the angle and the perspective. Others are feeling the heat of summer and growing rapidly, taking wild risks and just going for it. And some are like what we are here in the world, which is fall and spring. So wherever your internal rhythm is, wherever your season is within you, I want to encourage you to honor that. Let go of the predetermined seasons and rhythms of the world. They're not yours. You are of them, but you have your internal rhythm. And so if you need help or support in understanding what that means, please reach out to me. Which brings me to my next heart's desire, which is to say, the world is a crazy place right now. But it's always been crazy. There's always been war. There's always been growth. There's always been shift. The earth, Pachamama, Mother Earth, has grown and expanded, and she expresses herself through all kinds of things, but a lot of times weather. So volcanoes erupting, rain, water rising, flooding, fires igniting and burning away what sometimes we as humans see as something that was miraculous, beautiful, necessary, and we feel it as devastation. And if you tune into the earth, sometimes it's just necessary to transmute what no longer serves, and that's the fastest way to do it. And so, again, on the note of this, I want to say that I had intended to raise my prices. I haven't advertised it or communicated it very well, but I had intended to raise my prices October 1st. Not by a lot, $20. Doesn't feel like a lot when you think about it from a dollar perspective when you're in the abundant flow of everything. And when you are struggling to find work, when you are working for a corporation that is downsizing, outsourcing, shifting focus, and releasing employees, and then the government of shift and change. I was recently told by my sweet nephew that here in the state of Oregon, there are now more unemployed people than there are jobs available, which is daunting. And I want to honor that. I have it on my website already that I will honor where you are financially, and we will find a solution that works for both of us, where it feels mutually beneficial and supportive to each of us. And I want to say that very clearly in this podcast, that no matter where your price range is, no matter what you can or can't afford, I am here. My purpose is to be of divine service to those that are requiring it, needing it, wanting it. And so please reach out. I have on my web page that I do hour-long sessions. Sometimes you can book an hour and a half, but that doesn't mean I can't do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes to figure out a mutual beneficial exchange for what you're needing, wanting, experiencing, and how I might be able to support you with unconditional love, frequency, change, shift, rotor-rooting the things that are blocked, pulling out the stuck, the gunk, the sticky. And so please don't let a price tag or a price of a session stop you from fully receiving what you most need, most desire. So I will change my website, and I will even do some social media posts to remind you. But again, if you know someone that is in alignment with the service that I might be able to support them with, pass along this podcast and let them hear from me what I just told you about the pricing of my services. So, and remote and in person are 100% available, and I am booking into October already. So please sign up now. If you're thinking end of October, you want to honor Samhain, or you want to honor the Day of the Dead, to connect with ancestors or clear your ancestral lineage or open up to your own gifts, book now. Book now and grab your spot. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the seasons. We talked about the financial reality of where we are in our world. And the next one I want to talk a bit about is what is to come. I offer a goddess series in this podcast, and we are up for a doozy. So I hope in the next couple of weeks, I will be releasing a new goddess. She's from the Nordic spiritual culture. She is powerful. She is big in many ways. And she has been teaching me a lot about beauty and grace and claiming your spot, claiming your light. And I know she has more to actually share with me. And I love it when her energy is present and I'm feeling it and I allow it to come into my own and I feel her essence within me. Um, it's such a great visitation. I've done that with a lot of other deities that I've studied that are part of my spirit team. You'll see that I have a new Our Lady of Guadalupe rose shawl that I've decided to hang here for a bit because she is so sacred to me as a Mexican woman and as a former Catholic. She's just beautiful in so many ways, and she continues to show me grace, offer love, and I know that she's doing that for millions around the world. And her grace and her presence and her power and her love are unconditional and eternally flowing. So Our Lady of Guadalupe, I thank you. And in honor of her and my beautiful niece who gifted me this for my birthday a few weeks ago, I want to say thank you. I haven't done a personal update. I've shared with you a bunch of other stuff. Personally, it's interesting to see where I thought I was going to go with this and then just what hit me. Generationally, culturally, we all have expectations that are given to us, that are created within our own fabric as we grow up. Some of it's gender related, some of it's position and placement of birth, some of it is cultural, some of it's spiritual, some of it's ancestral. And I've been dealing with that. I've been looking at that. I've been experiencing that. So personally, I have had a lot of struggle and a lot of anger and a lot of frustration, agitation, confusion of what it is that I am meant to be, do, have, experience. And it comes from my belief around a divine plan. That concept has grown and changed throughout my spiritual growth, and it is firmly in place right now of before we ever incarnated, the eternal soul, our ancestors, the creator, all came into an awareness and an agreement and into a contract that said the soul is going to be incarnated into a physical form. The ancestors, your beautiful lineage, may have negotiated beyond your understanding to ensure that you got a body. And you, as a soul, as an energetic being, agreed to come to this planet to be part of a biological birth family. And that had a lot of different meanings, possibilities. And so I call it the divine plan because in our world, we understand the concept of free will, or at least we understand that there's such a thing, or maybe such a thing. That could be a whole nother podcast for me because I have certain beliefs and experiences about free will. But for today, I'll just say that we think we get to make choices and we think that we get to decide the direction of our lives. And some of that is true. But ultimately, there is this larger divine plan. If you come from a business world, it's the umbrella. And underneath the umbrella, there are all these pillars that make up the overall strategy. It's very similar. So the divine plan is the ultimate umbrella of everything that this individual soul will go out and experience and have and be and explore. And you can get there all kinds of ways. I can go down I-5. I can go Highway 26. These are streets and highways here in Oregon. Forgive me if you don't know what I'm talking about, but imagine that you're going down a street and there's a left turn, a right turn. You can go straight forward, or there's maybe a V in the path. Do you go left or do you go right? Is it east? Is it west? Is it south? Is it north? There's all kinds of directional ways to process this concept. And yeah, you do get to decide in that moment which way. Which way is the divine path? Which way, if you looked in the divine book, if you picked up a book and you said, oh, this is my divine path book, and you looked and you said, oh, actually, if I go left here and then right 2 streets down, that's the divine path. Okay, if you do that, you're in the divine plan. If you say to yourself, actually, I'm going to go right because right means I get to go to my favorite store and I get to go experience this. And and there's a beautiful mountain over there and I'd like to go see that. I'd like to experience that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not on your divine path. You're not on your divine in. So I've been sitting with that a lot. And my father has come to an age and to a health experience where he is requiring some additional support, some nudging, some prompting to ensure that he gets to live the life that he wants. Figuring out the balance between what I can provide, what the world could provide, what he could financially afford, all of the things um, are interesting. And if you have anyone in your life that's aging, that has a serious condition, that it doesn't have to be aging, right? It could be maybe they just broke their arm and they need additional support. And so it's requiring more time of you, or maybe they were in an accident and they're in recuperation. All kinds of things can draw us to activate those cultural, spiritual, ancestral agreements about what you should be doing, the expectation of you. Again, some are based on gender, some are based on the position of your birth and your family. And what's true? What is true in all of that? That is what I've been going through, and it has felt hard. It has felt burdensome. And ultimately, it has felt confusing. And so when I know I'm in a confused space, I know for me, I'm not in my authentic innocence. There isn't this innocent belief or faith to be able to move forward. And it pisses me off, like big time. I have been angry. And I think the therapeutic release of all of this, as it's been in my life, has brought clarity, has brought grace, has brought acceptance. For example, I used to always ask the question, is this choice in alignment with my divine plan? And it feels so good. It still feels good. Like, oh yeah, that's the way to ask it. And then my guides said, do you just want to be in alignment with it? Or do you want to be in it? And I went, whoa, big shift. Whoa. Lots of things are in alignment with my divine plan. That's like saying I'm going down the road and I see a rose and I see a flower and I see a store and I see a sparkle and I see a person and I see an opportunity. They're all in alignment with the road that I'm traveling down. They're there, right? So they're in alignment. This choice will keep me on that same path. Alignment. I have decided that I no longer want alignment. I want to be part of the divine plan for my soul and this incarnation known as Dani Palacio. That's all I want. I want the divine plan. And it's changed me. It so has changed me. And some of the truth from that question has shifted my ability to know who I am. And I'm not going to get into a bunch of astrological geek speak. I'm going to keep it super simple so that you understand kind of more of what I've been going through. And hopefully it resonates, that will maybe give you some, oh, that's why I'm feeling this, or wow, this is important to consider. So we just ended Virgo season. And what I mean by that is the dates when Virgo starts to the date Virgo ends. And like I said in the beginning, we're in Libra now. So we're out of Virgo. But for the Virgo season, and me being a Virgo, I have 4, maybe 5 planets in Virgo. And so I'm very Virgo. And all that means is, well, it can mean a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into that. My point was that during this season, everyone was asked to look at what is true, what is in alignment, what old stagnant ways of being need to leave. How can you release your expectations? Look at how you control and why you control and where you control certain situations, beliefs, people, your own self. And how can you let it go? How can you transform and release the control? Because the simple truth is it's an illusion. It's a satisfying illusion, and it perpetuates the belief that if you control everything, you will be able to keep yourself safe, that you will be able to have everything you want. And that's a big fat lie. There you go. It's a big fat lie. When you control, when I have controlled, it has given me certain things that are awesome. And it's also blocked and limited some things that I sure wish I had, and or that I could have had if I hadn't been so controlling, so demanding, so exacting, and living from such expectations that aren't even part of my natural desire, part that are not part of my natural innate nature. And we all have that. And it's the clearing and the releasing and the letting go and the awareness and the acceptance and of the gunk, of the stuck, of the places of control, of why you chose to control a certain thing a certain way. And it is shit. It's so frightening. It's so much fear, so much anxiety, so much resistance to let it go, because if I did, what does that mean? Who am I? And if you've been questioning your identity of not only your makeup of illusions and beliefs and experiences, but your identity about how you're seen in the world, how you want to be seen in the world, your identities around how you eat, who you love and how you love them. If those identity things are coming up for you, like I can feel it in my stomach, like it's nauseous right now, like the thought of like, whew, so much. And I've been going through it. That's what's been happening this last month for me. And it makes, as I share with you right here, right now, it makes perfect sense that I didn't do an episode this entire month throughout the Virgo season, because I didn't know. And I'm still in a lot of unknown. I have shifted, I have opened, and I have released. And now I have a willingness to live in my divine plan, which means I don't know anything. I don't know which way to go. I don't know where to next be of service. But what if I'm available 100% of the time? I'm pretty sure, I have a lot of faith in this, you guys, that everything will be shown and I will instinctively know. And I trust my relationship with my spirit team, with the creator, that if it's on my path, it's in the divine plan, then it was meant to be. Living as if all is still a struggle. But I'm starting to feel a little bit more willing, a little bit more like, actually, this might actually be easier. Like, it didn't have to be so complicated. It didn't have to be so controlling. I didn't have to have an exact plan, a strict schedule, a set of decisions, 1, 2, 3 in that order. Maybe I only needed one decision. And maybe it was not 1, 2, or 3, but it was the one that I didn't even think about. It's something I'm processing. So I appreciate you being here to witness my journey. And my greatest hope is that when I share these things, you understand that some of the questions, some of the struggles, some of the things that you're going through are similar. They may not be the exact same, but hopefully you're resonating with something that I'm saying that says, that's a cool thing to think about or to ponder. Because this whole podcast, A Waking Moment, I named it that. It's an awkward statement as a name. It's often would be referred to as awakening. Awakening Moments would have been a very natural, understandable podcast name. But Spirit said a waking moment, because that's all it really takes is one moment of awakening. And then you know, and then you're different, and then you can choose. And so find your authentic truth, discover what it means for you, have that moment to wake up. I wake up 1,000 times a day sometimes. And other days I don't wake up at all because my head is in the sand and I'm saying, go away, go away. Yes, that still happens to me. So I'm human, people. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, is there anything else? There will be some changes. If you see in the background, the Awakening with Love essential oil, that's something that I introduced earlier this year. It's amazing. I use it every day. The beautiful people that have purchased it have given me great reviews around how amazing it is, how it's not super sickeningly sweet. It's grounded. It has a warmth, an openness to it. And if you're going through transition, if you are looking for a way to soften the experience, this is the answer. This oil, Awakening with Love, is God's gift, is the divine's gift to you. It did not come from me. I would not have picked these oils, and I would not have picked them in the percentages, ratios that exist in this oil. But there was an alchemical experience, meaning that all of the ingredients came together and I let sit together, marinate together. And when I opened up the vial again, I was like, oh, that is super different than when I first put it all together. And then when I mixed it with golden jojoba oil, it shifted again and it becomes what it is now. So there are some bottles left. It will be available by special order, but the inventory that I have now is the last that I'll be making until a custom order comes in. And I've been processing how I might entice you to order it. And I realized what entices me to order something? Free shipping. So there you go, people. Order as much as you want and it's free shipping. Free shipping was only $6, but like the smallest bottle, this bottle, I think is $13. So adding $6 onto it was like a huge increase in price. I get that. If you ordered a larger bottle of it, it didn't feel like so much. If you ordered multiples, it never increased. It was always a flat $6, but gone is the $6 to clear inventory and to get it into the hands that most need it. If you live locally and you would like to meet up to either pick up your oil, meet up for a cup of tea or coffee, have a short conversation, get together, I am completely open to that. It could be fun. I am trying to extend my social availability. My goodness. Sweet souls, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me a place to share my journey, my truth, and honestly discover more of who I am by sharing it with you. Know that I am available, know that I am here when you need me, and to always reach out. Please don't hesitate. There's no need to. I'm not going to reject you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to make you feel like you're a piece of crap. I am not that. I hold a place of love and understanding and compassion. And that means that I'm going to hold a place for you to have the exact same experience. So, oh, and cacao. Cacao is still here. That plant medicine, that spirit of the cacao is so beautiful. Gift yourself the opportunity to drink it and to sit in the space of the spirit of cacao. It is amazing. I'm not exactly sure what will be happening with that and me. I drink it almost every day now, and I can say it's shifted me. So if it's something that you want to do on your own, but you want to have the first introduction with me, I'm happy to teach you. And then you do it as your own ritual, ceremony, practice. That's cool. That's currently not on my website. So again, whatever you need, you should ask for. I invite that. All right. Thank you so much. I look forward to continuing to connect with you week to week. I feel like I'm back in an alignment with that desire, and I absolutely know it is part of the divine plan for this soul. So, thank you again. Many blessings of love, and there will be more energetic attunements and energy healings moving forward. There are certain crystals that have asked to be part of that, so they will be short and published out on social media as well. So thank you again. Blessings.